Inukan fives. Have you ever achieved something only to wonder, why doesn't it feel fulfilling? You chased the promotion, you bought the new car, you even crossed off a few big goals from your list. Yet somehow, deep down, a quiet question lingers. Is this all there is? In a world obsessed with doing more, achieving more, having more, we often forget the most important journey, the journey back to ourselves. Jim Rohn once said, "The major key to your better future is you." And yet, how many of us are strangers to the person staring back at us in the mirror? We live in a time of endless distractions. Scroll, click, swipe, achieve, and still we feel empty. The truth is, most people spend their entire lives climbing a ladder, only to realize it's been leaning against the wrong wall. But today is different. Today we pause. We take a breath. We dare to ask the question that most people run from. Who am I, really? Not the titles, not the roles, not the expectations others placed upon you, but you, the person beneath it all. In the next few moments, we're going to explore a forgotten journey, one that doesn't require a plane ticket or a passport, but the courage to travel inward. Because before you can build a life that feels right, you must first understand who you are when no one is watching. So I invite you to set aside the noise, the deadlines, the to-do lists, and step into a quiet space, a place where the most important conversation happens, the one between you and you. Remember this, the most powerful journey you'll ever take is not around the world, it's within, and today we begin. Let's take that first step together. Let me ask you a simple question. When was the last time you sat in complete silence and asked yourself, what do I really want? Chances are, it's been a while. You see, we've become experts at answering everyone else's expectations, but amateurs at understanding our own desires. Every morning we wake up not to live but to perform. We check emails before we check in with our own hearts. We scroll through other people's lives before we even open the first page of our own day. And so, we run, we rush, we fill every moment with noise, with tasks, with endless notifications, because deep down, we're afraid of what we might hear in the silence. Jim Rohn once said, "You cannot change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction overnight." Yet, how can you change direction if you don't even know where you're standing? This is the silent epidemic of our times. We are strangers to ourselves. We know the names of influencers. We memorize product reviews. We can recite the latest viral trends. But ask us, what makes our own hearts beat faster? What brings us quiet joy? What values do we truly stand for? And most of us fall silent. You see, modern life has given us 1,000 ways to stay busy, but almost none to stay connected. We've been taught to chase success, but not to define what success actually means to us. And so, we end up living lives designed by default, not by intention. Oh my God. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine a fog-covered city. Billboards flash with words like success, hustle, be more, do more. Crowds move quickly through the streets, their eyes glued to glowing screens. But among them, a single person stands still. They look down at their own reflection in a rain puddle and wonder, how did I get here? That person is us, lost in a world that moves too fast to notice that we're losing ourselves. And the traps? Oh, they are subtle. We chase careers that sound impressive, but feel empty. We fill our calendars with meetings, but leave no room for meaning. We collect followers, but lose the ability to follow our own inner compass. And here's the hardest truth. We fear stillness, because stillness forces us to reflect. But my friends, without reflection, there is no direction. Without knowing who we are, we will spend our lives being who the world tells us to be. Think about it. Why do you believe what you believe about success, about happiness, about what makes a good life? Were these beliefs carefully chosen or unconsciously inherited? You see, every day, without realizing it, we adopt silent scripts from the world around us. Scripts that say, you should have it all figured out by 25. Success means a bigger house, a better title, a higher salary. If you're not constantly busy, you're falling behind. But who wrote these scripts? And why have we accepted them without question? Jim Rohn reminds us, if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. So I ask you today, whose plan are you living? Is it truly your own? Or is it a patchwork of expectations, stitched together by society, family, and fear? And here's the cost. Living a life not aligned with who you really are is exhausting. It's why you can achieve and still feel empty. It's why you can be surrounded by people and still feel profoundly alone. Because the greatest distance in life is the distance between the life you're living and the life you know deep down you're meant to live. But there is good news, and it begins with this realization. You are not lost. You are simply being called home, back to yourself, to the values that truly matter, to the passions you've silenced, to the simple joys that once made you coruscant, alive. But it takes courage to stop running, to stand still, and to face the reflection in that metaphorical puddle. And if that reflection looks unfamiliar, don't worry. This is not the end. It's the beginning. Because the moment you become aware, you reclaim the power to change everything. From this point forward, every small act of reflection is a step home. Every question you ask yourself, does this path align with my values? Every pause you take before saying yes to things you don't truly want is a step toward a life that is authentically yours. So I invite you to take that pause, to breathe, to ask the hard questions, not to shame yourself for past decisions, but to gently guide yourself toward the life you deserve. And remember, Jim Rohn didn't say, the key to someone else's future is you. He said, the key to your better future is you. The world will keep spinning fast, the noise will never stop, but in the stillness, you will find the voice you've been longing to hear, your own. And that is where your new life begins. Shall we take the next step together? If you're ready to come home to yourself, then it's time to meet the 5 pillars that will guide you there. Jim Rohn didn't just talk about success, he lived it. But more importantly, he taught us that success is not a destination. It's a reflection of the person you become. And at the heart of becoming that person are these 5 timeless pillars of self-discovery. Let's begin. Pillar 1. The power of self-reflection. Jim Rohn once said, learn to be quiet enough to hear the whisper of your own heart. In a noisy world, silence has become a superpower. Most people avoid it because in the quiet, truth surfaces. And sometimes, truth feels uncomfortable. But discomfort is not a sign to run. It's a signal to pay attention. Self-reflection is not self-judgment. It's observation without criticism. Think of it this way. You wouldn't fix a broken compass by yelling at it. You'd examine it gently and recalibrate it. And so it is with your life. Each evening, before the world takes you again, sit quietly. Ask yourself 3 simple questions. 1. Did I live today in alignment with my values? 2. Where did I stray and why? 3. How can I gently course correct tomorrow? 5 minutes of honest reflection each night can change the entire trajectory of your life. Pillar 2. Identifying your core values. Jim reminded us, success is not something you pursue, it's something you attract by the person you become. And who you become is shaped by the values you live by. But here's the question, have you consciously chosen your values, or have they been handed to you by others? Take a moment. What truly matters to you? Not what sounds good, not what earns applause, but what feels undeniably right, deep in your soul. Write down the 5 values that you want your life to stand for. Is it integrity, freedom, kindness, growth, courage? Then ask yourself, are my daily actions aligned with these values? If not, don't criticize. Begin small. Live just 1 value more fully each day. Because when your actions align with your values, you walk lighter, you sleep deeper, and life begins to flow instead of feel like a constant struggle. Pillar 3. Discovering your purpose. Most people wait for purpose to arrive like a lightning strike. But Jim Rohn taught us, if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. Purpose isn't found in grand revelations, it's discovered in small, consistent acts aligned with your values. Think about this. What is something you cannot help but care about? What problem breaks your heart or ignites your passion? Your purpose often hides there. It doesn't have to be world-changing. It only needs to be life-changing for you. Take the first step toward purpose by asking, how can I contribute today, no matter how small? Contribution creates clarity, and over time, those small contributions lead you directly to your bigger purpose. Pillar 4, taking action, the real start of transformation. This is where most people hesitate. They know what to do, but they don't do it. Jim Rohn didn't sugarcoat this. He said, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Self-discovery without action is just daydreaming. And here's a truth you must embrace. Action doesn't have to be massive. It just needs to be consistent. Start where you are, with what you have. If you want to write one paragraph today. If you want to get fit, walk for 10 minutes. If you want deeper relationships, send one heartfelt message. Tiny steps compound, and soon you'll look back and realize you've crossed bridges you once thought impossible. Pillar 5, living a purposeful life every day. This is where it all comes together. Self-discovery is not a destination, it's a practice. Jim Rohn said, happiness is not something you postpone for the future, it is something you design for the present. How do you live purposefully? Simple. Each day, ask yourself, what is one small thing I can do today that aligns with who I want to become? Not someday, not when life is perfect, but today. It could be as simple as being kinder, listening more deeply, or taking 5 minutes to reflect instead of react. These small acts, practiced daily, create a life of meaning. And when you live that way, you don't just find happiness, you become happiness. And now you know the 5 pillars. But remember, knowledge is only the beginning. The real transformation happens when you start living them. One reflection, one value, one small purpose-driven act at a time. This is how you rediscover the most important person you'll ever meet, yourself. Are you ready to build your life upon these pillars? Let's take that first step together. We've walked through reflection, values, purpose, and the power of small, consistent actions. But I know what you might be thinking. Where do I start? Jim Rohn always believed that lasting change doesn't come from overwhelming transformations. It starts with simple practices you can begin today. So let's make this personal. Here are 3 simple, powerful practices that will help you begin your journey back to yourself, starting now. Practice 1, the mirror moment, facing yourself with courage. Every day we face the world, but how often do we face ourselves? Jim Rohn taught, you must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. Each morning or evening, stand in front of a mirror. Look beyond the reflection. See the person behind the roles, the titles, the expectations, and ask yourself, honestly, am I living by my values today? Not yesterday, not tomorrow, today. This simple question shines a gentle light on your choices. No judgment, no shame, only awareness, because awareness is where all change begins. And if the answer is not yet, smile, because you now know the path, and you can start walking it right now. Practice 2, the one-page journal, capturing your journey one step at a time. Jim believed in writing things down. He once said, don't trust your memory. When you hear something valuable, write it down. That's how you build a life library. So tonight, before you close your eyes, open a blank page. Write down 2 simple reflections. 1 moment today when I lived aligned with my values. 2 one moment when I didn't and what I learned from it. That's it. 1 page, 5 minutes. Do this consistently, and over time, you'll have written the story of your transformation. One day, 1 page at a time. And someday, you'll flip through those pages and see a life built not by accident, but by intention. Practice 3, the 7-day action commitment, a gentle challenge to begin now. Change feels hard because we try to change everything at once. Jim Rohn reminds us, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. So here's the challenge. For the next 7 days, pick just one value you deeply care about. Maybe it's kindness or discipline or courage. And for the next 7 days, live that value with full intention. Every day, ask yourself, how did I embody this value today? And here's the secret. It's not about perfection, it's about awareness. Each day, take one small action that reflects that value. If you choose kindness, send one heartfelt message to someone. If you choose discipline, follow through on one promise to yourself. If you choose courage, say yes to something that scares you. 7 days, one value, one action at a time. By the end of the week, notice how you feel. Notice how much lighter your steps become when you live in alignment with the person you're becoming. So my friends, no matter how far you feel from the life you want, the path back is always just one simple step away. Take a mirror moment. Write a one-page journal. Commit to a 7-day action. These aren't grand gestures, they're quiet revolutions, and every quiet revolution begins with you. Jim Rohn said it best. The major key to your better future is you. Are you ready to turn that key? Then don't wait for life to change. Take one brave step today, because this is where your new story begins. And I'll be right here walking with you. Are you ready to take that step? Let's begin now. At the end of this journey, there's one simple truth I hope has settled gently into your heart. You were never lost. You were simply waiting to return to yourself. For too long, you may have wandered through life, chasing goals that weren't truly yours, following maps drawn by other people's expectations. But today, something shifted. You've paused, you've reflected, and you've taken that brave first step back to where you've always belonged, within. Jim Rohn said it best. The major key to your better future is you. Not the economy, not your circumstances, not even time. It's you. You hold the key to every door that feels closed, to every dream you thought was forgotten, to every version of you waiting to be lived. And the lock, it's not outside you, it's within your willingness to choose differently. You see, life isn't about adding more, it's about becoming more, and becoming more starts by remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. Remember that child, the one who dreamed boldly, who wasn't afraid to fall, who believed magic lived in ordinary moments. That version of you still lives inside, still whispers beneath the noise, and now it's time to listen. If you take nothing else from this journey, take this. You are not missing anything. You are not behind. You are simply becoming. Becoming the person who lives with clarity, who moves with purpose, who wakes up each day, knowing that no matter what happens, they are living a life that is theirs. And it doesn't require perfection. It only requires intention. Every time you choose to reflect instead of react, every time you pause before saying yes to things that don't serve you, every time you take one small action aligned with your values, you turn that key. You unlock another door, and before long, you'll look back and realize you didn't just find your way, you built it, step by intentional step. So let me ask you one final question. At the end of your life, will you remember the hours you survived or the moments you truly lived? Because in the end, it's never about the things you had. It's about the stories you lived, the love you gave, the courage you found when it mattered most, and all of that begins with the decision you make today. So don't wait. Don't let this be another moment of inspiration that fades. Make a promise to yourself, right here, right now. Say it with me. I choose to rediscover myself. Say it again, but this time, say it like your future depends on it, because it does. I choose to rediscover myself. And from this day forward, when life feels overwhelming, pause. When you forget who you are, pause. When you feel lost, remember, the key was never missing. You've had it all along. This is your time, your life, your story. Write it boldly, live it fully, and above all, don't forget to fall in love with life again. And this time, don't look away. I'll leave you with one final thought from Jim Rohn. Your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change, and that change begins with you. So, take a deep breath, hold that promise close, and take the first step now. This is not the end, it's your new beginning. Let's walk it together. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your journey. Until we meet again, keep choosing you, because you are the key.